and to serious matters that are ongoing in our community as the trial for Jeremy Skibicki carries on. The details being revealed in court have been disturbing. His defense team is arguing that even though he admits to killing 4 Indigenous women, he is not criminally responsible. Mental health support is now being provided to the victims' families who've been present in court. But the media coverage, of course, and the stories that we're covering here to try to keep you up to date on what's going on in the trial include some really horrific details of the case. And that is difficult for all of us, but it's especially difficult for other Indigenous families to hear. Anna Huard is the committee member of the MMIW G2S Plus Implementation Advisory Committee and is here to talk about that. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us via Zoom. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
How difficult, in your view, has this Skibicki case been for families specifically of missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls to be absorbing, watching all this?
I think to say earth-shattering is probably an understatement. This is such a high-profile case that I believe it's a constant kind of reminder that their life has been turned upside down. And it's very difficult to sort of leave the reality of it, you know?
What type of cultural care do these families need, and what kinds of things have been helping people?
It sparked a lot of gatherings, vigils, rallies even. It's quite unfortunate that we have to gather like this, but community is really coming together and holding each other up, which is bittersweet.
What are you hearing specifically from Indigenous communities about how they're coping in a wider way? And also, of course, each individual is going to be different. Each family is going to be different. Some may want, the need for privacy. So what's it been like to figure out, how to reach out and then where to give space?
We listen a lot to the families and communities. So, for example, we were asked to help organize a vigil prior to the case with the Myron family. And so we're really guided by community and family and just ensuring that they're uplifted in times of need and of course giving space when we can.
Has there what's the role of elders been in the conversation, and also of knowledge keepers and those who lead sweats and such?
We've been very fortunate to have a lot of elders and knowledge holders come in and really guide families in times of need. Specifically on the implementation committee, or its traditional name is Giganaway Namananig for the committee. We've really had some wraparound support. For example, our elders fan down the families and supporters. There's, we take a lot of guidance from them, and I'm very, very, I'm blessed for sure to have them in my presence. I believe we all are.
The details of this case are, as I keep, repeating, they are graphic. Obviously, it's traumatizing for people who have not experienced as well losing a loved one to murder. How can the larger community, what's the role of the larger community in rallying around the families in an appropriate way?
I think just the biggest thing, my biggest suggestion is show up. Show up for rallies, show up for vigils, repost on social media and educate your family and friends, like really get that good grasp on the impacts of colonial violence and sort of that bigger picture. Show up to the camps, Camp Morgan, Camp Mercedes, bring supplies, propane, wood, food and canned goods. And then on a kind of bigger scale, please donate to initiatives that support missing and murdered families.
What would you want the general public to know, people listening this morning in Manitoba, about what community care means from an Indigenous perspective?
I think I would say just keep in mind, like, all my relations, right? We're all here on this big earth, and that life is a beautiful thing and that our differences make us special.
Anything to add this morning about particular pages or things that you want to mention for the public to know as this, the trial, is ongoing?
Yeah, it can be triggering for a lot of people. So I think the biggest thing you can do is like take a step back when you can, and that's a privilege, right? To be able to shut off, because a lot of families who are impacted can't. It's very difficult. So self-care, get outside. A colleague of mine says, going on the land fills your cup, like your emotional cup. And Yeah, take that alone time when you need.
Anna, thank you very much for being with us this morning via Zoom. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Marcy.
That's Anna Huard, is a committee member of the MMIW G2S Plus Implementation Advisory Committee. So just a reminder here, support is available for anyone affected by these reports and the issue of missing and murdered Indigenous people overall as well. So immediate emotional assistance and crisis support is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The national hotline that we like to remind you of is 1-844-413-6649.